Hey, it's Monday, and you know what that means. Twig has a new Let's Play. But really, it's time for a book review. Eoin Colfer's Half Moon Investigations. One of the best books I've ever read. I reread it yesterday. Alright, I could get demonetized for reading this video. Eoin Colfer also makes the best-selling Artemis Fowl series, which is another one of my favorite books. Probably do a book review on that next week. Alright, the expert says, Fletcher Moon has never been like other kids. For one thing, he has to suffer from the humiliating nickname Half Moon because of his short stature. But the real reason Fletcher is different is because ever since he was a baby, he's had a nose for sniffing out mysteries. Let's just say it's not a skill that's appreciated by many people, including his own family. That doesn't bother Fletcher, though. After graduating at the top of his internet class, he's officially certified as the youngest detective in the world. He even has a silver-plated detective badge to prove it. Everything is going fine until two things happen. A classmate hires him to solve a crime, and his prized badge is stolen. All signs point to the town's most notorious crime gang, the Sharkies. As Fletcher follows the clues, evidence and conspiracy begins to emerge. But before he can crack the case, Fletcher finds himself framed for a very serious crime. To clear his name, he'll have to pair up with the unlikely allies and go on a run from the authorities. Fletcher is only 12 years old. Fletcher has 12 hours to find out the guilty party, or he is the guilty party. Half Moon Investigations. Other books by Eoin Colfer: Artemis Fowl, Artemis Fowl: The Arctic Incident, Artemis Fowl: The Eternity Code, Artemis Fowl: The Opal Deception, The Artemis Fowl Files, Supernaturalist, The Wish List, Eoin Colfer's Legend of Spud Murphy, Eoin Colfer's Legend of Captain Crow's Teeth. Alright. Printed by Miramax Books. Copyright 2006. That was a while ago. Today it was 24 years ago. Man. All rights reserved. No part of this book may be reproduced or transmitted in any form by any means, electronic or mechanical, including photocopying, recording, or any information storage or retrieval system. Retrieval system without written permission from the publisher. Well, I'd read you some of the book, but I have to get written permission. However, this channel is too small to get demonetized. To Liam and John, the Thursday night think tank. I'll only read like the first chapter. This is one of the greatest intros ever, actually. Alright, Chapter 1, First Rule of Investigation. My name is Moon, Fletcher Moon, and I'm a private detective. In my 12 years on this spinning people we call Earth, I've seen things normal people never see. I've seen lunchboxes stripped of everything except fruit. I've seen counterfeit homework networks that operated in 5 counties, and I've seen truckloads of candy taken from babies. I thought I'd seen it all. I'd paid so many visits to the gutter looking for lost Valentines. I thought nothing could shock me. After all, when you come face to face with the dark side of the schoolyard, life doesn't hold many surprises. Or so I believed. I was wrong. Very wrong. 1 month ago, a case came knocking on my door that made me consider getting a detective business for good. I had just turned 12 and already I had a dozen successful investigations under my belt. Business was good, and I was ready to start solving actual crimes. No more kid stuff. I wanted real cases that paid real money, and not just whatever a kid happened to have in his pocket at the time. It all went wrong the day I decided to break Bob Berenstein's first rule of investigation: be invisible. Put the pieces of a puzzle together, but never become one of those pieces yourself. Herod Sharkey made me forget that rule. As every private investigator knows, Bob Berenstein is a legendary... Sorry, I had to take a drink of water. Bob Berenstein is a legendary FBI agent turned PI who founded the Berenstein Academy in Washington, D.C. to train aspiring investigators properly. He also wrote the Berenstein Manual, which every student needs to know by heart if they have a hope of qualifying. I knew the manual from cover to cover, and I was qualified in the top of my online class, though I had to use my dad's birth certificate to do it. Luckily, we both share the same name. September 27th. The day is as clear to me as a high-resolution photograph. At the end of our first month back in school after the summer holidays. Unfortunately, the summer didn't know it was over, and it was pouring on the sunshine. The heat came off, the tar and sheets wrapping it around the students of St. Jerome's Elementary and Middle School. I arrived at the gates at the usual time, around 8:50. I'd like to be 10 minutes early to wherever I'm going. It gives me time to get my finger on whatever pulse is beating. Private detectives need to be in touch with their environment. The Berenstein Manual says that a detective never knows when his next case is coming from. For all he knows, it could be a puzzle that he has already solved if he's kept his eyes open. So I keep my eyes wide open. I can tell you which kids have been wart acid on their fingers. I know who's been passing lovey-dovey notes around the yard. And even which teachers stopped after the Burger Mac on the way to school. But nobody can possibly see everything, not even the legendary detective Bob Berenstein. That's why I need my informants. Doobie Doyle was the best one I had. An 8-year-old snot-nosed snitch with sharp eyes and a big mouth. Doobie would sell out his own mother for a sweaty handful of jelly beans. Unfortunately, when I say Doobie was a snot-nosed, it's not just a turn of phrase. Doobie never went anywhere without a couple of green yo-yos hanging from his nostrils, which he snorted back up his head so hard that they wrapped around his brain. Actually, it was the perfect disguise. It was all people noticed about him. If Doobie ever wiped his nose, his own mother wouldn't be able to pick him out of the lineup. On that morning, May 27th, he sat at the gates waiting for me. I was surprised. Usually I had to track him down. This must be important. "Morning, Fletcher," he said, trotting along beside me. I didn't look down. Close-up view was Doobie. It was not how you wanted to start your day. What have you got for me? Did you see Captain Laserbeam last night? There was a mud monster. Doobie was a good snitch, but he distracted easily. Let's talk about cartoons later, Doobie. Do you have some information? Yeah, good stuff. But I want to see the badge. I sighed. Doobie always wanted to see the badge. It was shiny, and he was 8. Okay, one peek, then you spill the beans. I reached into my pockets and pulled out the small leather wallet. I flipped it in front of Doobie's face. Inside was a laminated card and a silver-plated detective's badge. Sunlight twinkled along the badge's bridges, and for a long moment I was mesmerized by it. Even after 6 months, I sometimes found it hard to believe that it was finally mine. "Wow," said Doobie with real reverence, which quickly gave way to doubt. "Are you sure it's real?" "It's right here. It's right there, Fletcher." Doobie. Fletcher Moon, graduate of the Bob Berenstein Private Detective Academy. "Can I have it?" asked Doobie, just like he did every time he saw the badge. "No," I replied, slipping the wallet back into my pocket. "That took me 2 years to earn, and even if you had it, it wouldn't be yours." Doobie frowned. This kind of thing was a bit advanced for someone who hadn't worked out the mechanics of a tissue. "So what have you got for me, Doobie? Something juicy, I hope." "I don't know what I've got. I only came looking for you because everyone knows I'm your secret snitch and they asked me to find you." "Who asked you?" "Harry Sharkey. I don't know who the other one is, but he's really, really big." But he's big, really big. Alright. I'll get copyrighted if I keep going, and I'll run out of breath as well. So, this is Imam. Read this book. Do it. Here's the Dewey Decimal. JFIC. Colfer. E. Colfer. Yep. There's the barcode, so you can buy it at your local library or store. Oh. Nice. This is IMM signing out.